I thought my mic was muted before, so I tried unmuting it, but I didn't have it muted before, so I ended up muting it. So hashtag professional streamer. But yeah, hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be playing some more of The Crew 2. And it's been a while, and you might wonder why, because I really love this game. Well, when The Crew Motorfest was announced, my first reaction was like, well, I guess I'm done with The Crew 2 then, because what's the point of, building cars up in a game where, it's going to be obsolete in a few months when this game comes out. So I decided to just drop it like a hot potato then, and I just stopped playing it because, again, why make progress when I'm going to have to start from scratch in The Crew Motorfest? But then I watched the Ubisoft Forward these past few days, and they announced Crew that you're going to be able to import all your cars from The Crew 2 into The Crew Motorfest, which is super cool. It's really awesome for those of us who have got quite the catalog of cars built up, and it's especially valuable for those of us who bought the Motor Pass, because you get to keep those exclusive cars that you got before.
Everyone. The USST and Motorflix are so excited today to announce the beginning of a whole new kind of racing competition. And who better to present it than Motorflix's own publicity coordinator, Lara.
Thank you, John. What a pleasure. At Motorflix, we're all about shaping what comes next for AGP racing, which is why our talented engineers have been bringing to life an incredible new speed circuit unlike anything ever built before. It combines impossible curves, dizzying vertical descents, and a brand new suction zone technology to further boost your velocity. You've never raced on anything like this. And it all begins at the hub, so don't miss the entrance and your chance to make USST history at Motorflix Arena.
Thank you, Lara. I've seen a lot of racetracks in my day, and this one really does seem out of this world. Now, to kick off the new circuit, our iconic motorsport teams are back with new Alpha prototype cars. We've also got our partner Motorflix providing us with 4 new vehicles, starting with this awesome concept Sprewmeister SM71 from creator John Fry. Free for everyone. You can pimp it out with new vanities, including tires, smokes, nitros, underglows, and horns.
I wonder if that stuff's going to get imported too.
For the occasion in this sleek new suit with matching profile helmet. Want the goods? Enter the race. It's the USST, where we are all about speed.
Because they just said, like, you can import your cars. They said they'd announce more later, but it'd be cool if you could, like, transfer your customizations, like these tires and stuff. That would make it even cooler. Because I do have some pretty cool stuff. But then, like, what about custom liveries and stuff like that? Would that get transferred? I'm not really sure how that would all work technically. But hey, even if it is just the car and none of the customizations, that would still be pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. But yeah, obviously, since I just said that, I stopped playing the game for a bit, we've got a bunch of new stuff to do, so we'll start checking out some of these new things. Man, I wish I still, like, got my stuff from Stadia. And my awesome Alpha GP car from that Motor Pass. Because, man, it was such a good car. Now, I've heard that a lot of the handling is quite different. I've seen some people... Ooh, I like these tunnels. I've seen some YouTubers play the Crew Motorfest. There's like one guy in particular that I watch who is a Crew 2 YouTuber, and what they say is that the handling definitely feels different than it does in the Crew Motorfest. They also showed like some Alpha GP gameplay, oddly enough. And there was no nitro in it, and there was tire wear, which is interesting. There was nitro for like regular races, and then like there was a classical section where classic cars didn't have nitro or a GPS, which again, pretty interesting. You know, I sort of see what they're doing there. There's a part of me that sort of wishes that, or hopes that there's a mode where you can still have nitro in all of the races, sort of like in the Crew 2 here. Classic Crew 2 style, essentially. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if that's just a mode. I don't know if that's how all the races are going to work. Or maybe it'll just be like a toggle that you can do or something. I don't know. I haven't played the Crew Motorfest. And I think even those people that did might not know the answer to that. So, yeah. We'll just have to wait and see what it's like. But in any case, my only hope with the handling, because I really like the handling in the Crew 2. I know it's very arcadey and not so realistic, but that's sort of what I like about it. I don't like in Forza when you're sliding all over the place. In comparison to this handling, I like having the cars super gripped to the ground. It's very easy to like pick up and play. You don't really have to put too much thought into it, and that's that's a double-edged sword. It's nice that you don't have to think about it, but it means there's less depth to racing. So I think that's why they sort of changed that. So I sort of, if it feels different, and it can still change between now and launch. But if the handling is going to be different, I at the very least hope that it's going to still sort of be in between like the Crew 2 and Forza Horizon, for example. Because Forza Horizon, I feel like if it handled a little bit better, well, better subjective, but if it handled a little bit more like the Crew 2, then I would play it quite a bit more. So I'm hoping that if we put stuff on the scale with like the Crew 2 at the very end and Forza Motorsport at the other end, for example, or Grid at the other end, then I still hope that the handling will still be sort of on par between the Crew 2 and Forza Horizon. I'll still play Forza Motorsport when it comes out because I've got Game Pass and I'll give it a shot. Why not, right? But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Crew Motorfest is going to be like long term. You don't have the entire mainland of the United States to play with. You just have Oahu. So I wonder if there's going to be like map expansions where they include like other islands from Hawaii. Like, can we get like Maui up in here? Like, I've mentioned this before, but like my aunt and uncle live on Maui, so that'd be kind of cool. Drive by their house and I almost said Forza Motorsport. In the Crew Motorfest. No, I guess it would be cool in the Crew Motorsport too, even though it probably wouldn't make sense in that game. Why am I still driving around? It has been a minute, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm not the best racer. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how varied like the events can be. They showed like a Japanese style race. Sort of like how in some of these events, how the entire feel of the map can change. Kind of reminded me of like the retro tracks, where it's they basically build on top of the map. And it feels completely different, but it's like the same area. So I wonder how much variety there can really be. Also, I don't know if they talked about this at all, or if this has been mentioned anywhere, but I didn't see any evidence of like sailing a boat or flying a plane in the Crew Motorfest. So it's possible it's just the cars, though it looks like it's like all the disciplines from what I've seen. Maybe not Demo Derby. I didn't see Demolition Derby, but you know, I saw off-roading, I saw Alpha GP, obviously like standard races, classic races with classic cars. So I don't know if they're going to do the whole air and sea thing. Though to be honest, I'm not really sure how many people played that sort of stuff. Like, a lot of the air races sort of feel similar. There's only so much you can really do with air races, for example. Acrobatics. I mean, acrobatics were cool, but it never really felt as in-depth as like the race, like the ground racing. So maybe that's why. Boat racing was kind of the same way. Though, well, I was going to say maybe since it's on an island, maybe it would make sense to have a bunch of boat races, but I mean, then again, if you're on an island, like, how much can you really do, right? Like, can you really do the same amount of water races that you can in the Crew 2 if you're just on Oahu? I'm terrible at driving. Again, Alpha GP is sort of its own beast, and it has been a minute since I played the Crew 2, or any racing game really in general. Besides Kart Racer Drift, which I did try out. That's like a kart game, not really a racing game. But like, is there going to be like a lot of opportunities to have like a water race where you jump off a waterfall or something? I would think maybe there would be like 1 or 2 waterfalls on Oahu. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the island. But, you know, it's not going to be like as much variety as like the mainland of the US, where you have like the Hoover Dam. You have like these narrow rivers and stuff like that. So maybe that's sort of why. Maybe they sort of, and again, I'm assuming they're not putting it in there. Maybe they are. I don't know. But maybe if they did decide to remove it, that would sort of be why. Because the variety and the complexity you can really achieve in sort of water and air races is sort of limited. I don't know, but still, I mean, one of the reasons why I really like the Crew 2 is that you have so much variety. And, you know, maybe without the air and sea stuff, there's enough variety to keep me interested, regardless. But one of the things I love is that it's not just like a track game, you know? Even compared to like Forza Horizon, you know? It feels like there's a much larger variety of things you can do. Like, you don't want to go around in a track like this? Well, go ahead and do some off-roading. Checkpoints are much further apart, and it's much more up to you how you get to the next checkpoint, you know? Oh my goodness. Want to do like a very realistic like race? There's like pro racing, there's Alpha GP. want to do a not very realistic race with cool visuals, there's the retro races, there's the themed races. That's all well and good, and I do really like that. So I don't know, maybe if they got rid of the airplane and boating, I would worry a little bit about being a little too similar to Forza Horizon, at least from like the perspective of like the general gaming audience, you know? Like as someone who plays games mainly on Xbox, like what's someone like that going to really choose the Crew Motorfest over Forza Horizon for, you know? If you're just like looking for a racing game, maybe you don't do much in-depth research, you just want a good racing game that you can play after work or whatever. What's going to be like the main feature that sticks out? It's going to be like harder for those types of people to compare the Crew Motorfest and the Crew Motorfest and Forza Horizon. There we go. But yeah, I'm sort of just assuming there's no air and boat stuff. Maybe there are. And this whole conversation is pointless, but I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, hopefully there's enough variety in the game. I'm hoping the progression is still very similar in terms of how the races are built out and how you collect cars and stuff. They can change up the part system. I don't know if there's been any news about that or how customization's different. But that's the thing I really like about the Crew 2 is that there always is something that you can work towards, you know? Whereas with Forza Horizon, it felt like once I unlocked the final race, that was it. Like I did the thing, you know? I won the championship or whatever it was called. And it was like, okay, what am I going to do now? Race? Why am I going to race? So you can unlock more cars. Okay, why do I want to unlock more cars, you know? It's, at least in the Crew 2, there's just so many events and different disciplines that you have a lot to work towards. And even if you're good in one discipline, then you'll need a whole different set of cars or vehicles for another one. And I haven't even really touched PvP that much. I think I've done like a couple PvP races. But I mean, if I got into that, like, I would have even more stuff to do, you know? There's just lots of content. And I think for new players especially, there's a staggering amount of content with all the stuff they've added over the years. So, I don't know. I've heard that internally at Ubisoft, that like the Ubisoft higher-ups were like sort of impressed with how well the Crew 2 was doing given its age and the player base that plays it. Which, you know, is all just, it's all well and good, but you know, it's not like it was never really a blockbuster hit, you know. But given its size and audience, like the fact that it was doing good numbers in their eyes was a good thing. So hopefully the Crew Motorfest can do even better. I gotta say though, watching the Ubisoft Forward, like, I know the guy that was presenting it is probably heavily invested in the game, like he's worked on it for years or whatever. And, you know, I'm not trying to, like, hate on him when I say this, but, man, it was very hard to understand him. during the presentation. Like, I legit had to turn on subtitles for that. And again, you know, not hating on him, not saying he, you know, necessarily shouldn't do it. It was just hard for me as an American to understand. And I'm not really sure he came off as enthusiastic as he could be. I don't know. It's sort of hard to get hyped for a game with a presenter like that. Again, not trying to hate on him, I'm just saying. Like, I don't think it came off well in terms of the general viewer of the forward. It's one of those things where I sort of think it would be better almost if, because it's obvious like a lot of the presenters in the Ubisoft forward don't speak English as their primary language, right? I think in situations like that, it would be better to have them just speak in their natural language, whether it be French or whatever, and have like an English-speaking translator on top of that, sort of like what Nintendo does, where, you know, they have their developers speak in like Japanese or whatever, and then they still have like this very clear English voiceover that allows people to listen in without being too confused or, you know, having to really pay attention to understand what someone's saying. So again, not trying to hate on him, not saying like, you know, he shouldn't have been there or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think it came across as well as it could have. Just saying. I mean, you compare it to like the guy that was presenting that anime show, you know? At first he was kind of awkward, but then like he sort of got better as it went on, and you could tell that he was really hyped about it towards the end. But it was like, I don't know, much more memorable than the Crew Motorfest presentation. Speed Racer is now online. So, I don't know. Hopefully the Crew 2 gets a lot of good press. Hopefully it's feels as good or better than, like, you know, the Crew 2. Because I really like the Crew 2. So I hope the progression is similar. I hope the handling is still at a level in which I can really enjoy it. Because honestly, a more popular Crew 2 would be, you know, amazing in my eyes. It's sort of, I don't know. It's kind of how I felt when Watch Dogs, well, not exactly, because it was quite different from the past games, but Watch Dogs Legion, when I saw that come out, I sort of wasn't really thrilled about like the futuristic setting. What I wanted from Watch Dogs Legion was essentially like another Watch Dogs 2, basically. You know, not like a clone, obviously, but, you know, a new setting, maybe new abilities, and, you know, better graphics or whatever. And in my eyes, that would have been a great Watch Dogs 2 sequel. People interpreted that as sort of me just hating the game and not liking it. I got like the Ultimate Edition. Like, I really, I put my money where my mouth was. Like, I really did enjoy Watch Dogs Legion. I did enjoy the game. I actually bought and played it on Stadia and on Xbox. But even like now, looking back, I can't help but feel like it would have been better if, instead of going for the whole play as any character thing, if they had really narrowed down on like just a strong main character, then I can't help but feel that would have been better. Especially when you look at the DLC, you know? I mean, I wasn't alone when I saw this, but when the DLC came out with Aiden and stuff, people were like, man, this feels like it should have been like the main game, you know? And I can't help but agree with that. And yes, you can play with Aiden in like, you know, the main campaign, but it's obviously not as good as it would have been if it was like made with him in mind rather than everyone, you know? I lost track of time, rip. That's okay, Hyper. We all lose track of time every now and then. I was just talking about like the Crew Motorfest and, you know, all the things I'm sort of hoping for in the Crew Motorfest versus like the Crew 2. They announced, I don't know if you saw this, Hyper, but they announced that all the cars that you unlocked in the Crew 2 will be able to be imported into the Crew Motorfest. Oh, I didn't mean to bring that up. So yeah, I'm very hyped for the Crew Motorfest. I'm going to try out the beta when that comes out and see what I think about the handling. But it looks really good. Well, we're just going through all these events that I missed one by one. Checking them off the list so that I can reach up my completion score. Like this car, it's in the Crew Motorfest, and I'll get it. That's all they basically announced so far. I don't know if like all the tires and trails that you unlock are going to transition as well. It'd be cool if I could, you know, use that car that with the livery you made me that one time. If that livery would transfer over. I don't know how custom content would really transfer over, technically speaking. But, I mean, hey, even if it's just, like, the car and none of the cosmetic stuff, pretty cool. I've heard some people express concerns about balance when the game first comes out. Like, you know, if you're a Crew 2 player and you import all your cars, then you're going to have a pretty big advantage over new players at launch. Because you have all these, you know, all these cars unlocked. And if you're doing like a race with other players, then that's sort of unfair. And that would balance out eventually, but I mean, at least at launch, it probably wouldn't be too fair, you know? A Challenger SRT in the welcome pack is pretty cool. Yeah. And the big thing like that I saw about like the cars in the Crew Motorfest was that Toyota's in there now. Like, Toyota is very restrictive with their licenses, or at least has been. And Toyota isn't even in the Crew 2. Because, and one of the reasons I saw speculated as to why is because Toyota doesn't want their cars associated with illegal activities, like illegal street racing and stuff. You know, that's why when Rockstar comes out with a new car, they always have to name it something different. They can't just call it a Toyota. They need to call it, you know, some unique name or whatever. But in the Crew 2, you know, all the cars in here are real. They're like the actual car plans and the car models and the car names and stuff. And so the fact that Toyota is in the Crew Motorfest is a pretty big deal, considering that the Crew 2 doesn't have Toyota cars. Come on. I think it'll be especially interesting from, you know, personally, because, you know, a lot of the cars that my family members have bought have been like Toyotas. Like Toyota Corollas was like our family car growing up. And, you know, my dad had a Toyota Tacoma back in the day, you know? I think that was like one of the first times I sat in the front seat of a car was in a Tacoma. So it'll be pretty cool to like see, you know, actually see cars that I've interacted with in a game, you know? I think having a personal touch like that is very cool. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to, like, you know, hold off on pulling the pre-order trigger until I play the beta. And, you know, people say you shouldn't pre-order stuff in general. I think if, you know, I have a good experience with the beta and, you know, I'm actually playing the game, like, it's basically like my chance to get a feel for it. And I like it, and I don't see a problem with pre-ordering it. But that's just me. Challenger SRT Demon in the Motor Pass. Oh, it's in the Motor Pass. Oh, that's nice. What I'm really looking forward to transferring over to the Crew Motor Pass, though, is my Ford F-150 UFO edition. It's so wacky, I love it. You just got this big-ass UFO in the back, driving around Oahu. I think that's pretty sick. And, you know, this is the other thing, like, unless they're going to, like, give you an opportunity to buy, like, the Motor Pass cars for some reason, then it's very likely that the Motor Pass cars are exclusive cars, you know? Like, what if they don't put in a way to, like, earn those cars in the Crew Motorfest? Then, like, I could be, like, one of the few people, especially if the Crew Motorfest takes off, like, I could be one of, like, the thousands and thousands of players with a Ford F-150 with a UFO in the back. That would be pretty sick. It would be almost like a unique car to me because I played with the Motor Pass. I also wonder, I don't know if they said anything about crossplay with the Crew Motor Pass, or the Crew Motor Pass. The Crew Motorfest. And, you know, they haven't announced, like, the details around the car collection import feature. So I wonder if it is crossplay, and if it's crossplay and you can transfer from, like, any platform, like, what does that mean for me? Do I need to choose between my Stadia save file? Well, I guess I don't even know if my Stadia save file will exist now since Stadia is dead, but well, and to make it even more complex, they never really gave you an option to transfer your progress to another platform like other games did, like Hitman. So I don't know if I would have the ability to pick my Stadia save progress and my Xbox launch progress. I don't even know if the Stadia save progress would work. But man, I just want my Stadia Alpha GP Motor Pass car. Like, that was basically this car, but better. And yes, I know the handling in the Crew Motorfest is different and stuff, but man, it'd be cool if I could just get everything. I mean, I bought the Motor Pass, I should be able to get it, right? Oh well. Worst case scenario, I'll just transfer my Xbox stuff, which has a lot more things on it. And that'll be that. I also like how I did an endurance race right as Hyper was joining, so now he has to wait even longer. I didn't realize how long these were. Well, I guess I should have given the name. Oh well. But it'll be interesting to see like how many people end up getting the Crew Motorfest versus like Forza or Gran Turismo, you know? It's weird. It almost feels like the Crew is always going to be like a second place or third place game in terms of racing games. I just don't see how it can really like, you know, take that leap to, you know, get a step ahead of like everyone else or every other game. You know, they'll have people like me who prefer the Crew over other racing games. But I'm not sure if they'll have the marketing to like compete against, you know, Forza and Gran Turismo, who have Sony and Microsoft backing them and promoting them at like every event they do. Whereas for the Crew Motorfest, you have to tune into Ubisoft Forward specifically. But hey, you know what? I wish nothing but success for the Crew and the Crew games. I want the Crew Motorfest to be the best it can be. And you know what? I hope that's, I think it would be super cool if they added other islands with like DLC. Maybe not paid DLC, depending on like if they're doing the whole Motor Pass thing or not. But I think that would be a great way of keeping the game fresh, adding like a new island. All right. I also hope that it's like the Crew 2 in the sense that you can play with a crew, but it's perfectly fine solo. They did say like whether you... There's plenty to do whether you're alone or with friends, but we'll see. Invite to the Crew. I also really like this. I also really like just being able to like switch to a plane on the fly and go places and stuff. But I mean, hey, I would understand, you know, that this isn't everyone's favorite feature, so who knows? I guess we'll just keep going along with these events for now. Invitation sent to the Crew. I didn't mean to... Okay. It aborted, good. I wanted to leap so that I could send another invite. I gotta check if the car turns on BRB. I gotta check if the car turns on. Okay, well, I'll do this one without you. It shouldn't be as long. Are you talking about your IRL car? Because I'm pretty sure like all the cars in the Crew 2 turn on. Imagine if you just like boot up the Crew Motorfest or Forza Motorsport and you're like on the racetrack and your car just doesn't start. That'd be kind of anticlimactic. Yeah, IRL. Okay. I'm just imagining someone at like the starting line and they're just having engine issues. That has to have happened at least once in real life, right? I mean, they probably turn on the engines and like get it ready like a long time before the countdown, but you would think that someone at some point has had engine issues at the starting line. If something happens like enough times, if you have enough like races, then you're bound to have people. Ooh, this is so cool. You're bound to have people that have issues eventually. I love this tunnel. This is so cool. There's like an aquarium on Maui that I went to last time I visited my aunt and uncle, and they have like this this tunnel just like that, but you can like walk through it instead of like, you know, driving through it, because that would be very expensive. But it's cool. It's like at the end, towards the end of the aquarium, you can go like in this glass tunnel, and you see like sharks swimming over you and stuff. Very cool. Spooky at first, but cool. But yeah, I totally think it would be, and I don't know how tough it would be, probably quite tough. But if they added like, I don't know, if the Crew Motorfest turns out to be successful and it's going into like its year 2 motor pass or whatever, I could totally see them doing just another Hawaiian island for like a map expansion. Because, you know, the mainland of the US, what are you going to do to like expand the map? Add Canada? Add Mexico? I mean, yeah, that's cool, but you already have so much stuff to like drive around. Whereas if you add another island, if you're already on an island in a state that has multiple islands, makes sense. Especially if there's like airplanes and boating. And even if there isn't, like, I think that could be an easy way to like expand the map. Just add another island. I think Maui's like the second largest island in Hawaii, if I remember correctly. I could be completely wrong. What am I, a geologist? But hey, you know what? It would be pretty darn cool. Actually, now that I think about it, my uncle owns a Toyota Tacoma. So imagine if they added Maui and his Toyota Tacoma. That'd be cool. Yeah, there was like a big meme around like the Toyota cars. And I don't know if it was like Crew 2 specific or like a meme in general, but like people, whenever a new car would come out, people would say, "Is that a Supra?" You know, because it's a Toyota car or whatever. And now they actually have the Supra in the Crew Motorfest. I think that was like when they first started like showing gameplay, that was the first car they showed, the Toyota Supra. Is that a Supra? I know. But yeah, it's super cool. I like it. Meanwhile, Crew 2 sitting back here without Supras. Yells in excitement. I also really love how the Motor Pass works. I've talked about this every time I do Motor Pass stuff, but I just love how the Motor Pass works. I mean, look at this. I've only started playing like an hour or so ago, and I'm already up to level 15. And yeah, you can't possibly, it's impossible to like max it out in like 1 or 2 days, but I like how it's, the Motor Pass has always sort of been, you know, a reward for playing the game and not necessarily for being a tryhard in the game. Like, I love that it's just like, hey, if you play the game, you get a level, sure, why not? And I love how you can complete the Motor Pass very easily, like, with 30 plus days to spare, because, you know, a lot of games want you to want to be like the ultimate game. They want you to be the game that you play every day for months and months. But that's how people get burnt out on games. It's good to take breaks every now and then. And if I love being able to like get the Motor Pass, complete it, and then have plenty of time to like switch to another game. And that way when the new Motor Pass comes out, I'm not burnt out. I'm ready to tackle a new Motor Pass. And it's good to go. I didn't have a chance to buy it before the stream started, but we'll see. I'll take a look at the Motor Pass, see if it's something that I want to really buy. From the little I did saw, it didn't seem too exciting, but I mean, hey, you know what? If I can buy it with in-game currency, then why not, right? That's the other thing I love about the Motor Pass. You can easily like earn your way up and just get the Motor Pass with in-game money, you know? You don't have to like buy it with currency, with your actual cash. You gotta put in the time to like, you know, earn the money and stuff, but it's perfectly viable to just buy it with in-game cash. Pretty sick. I also like how the challenges are crew based. So even if you aren't doing the challenge yourself, if you're in a crew with someone else and they do it, it's all good. Like Hyper back there in last place, you know, he was never going to get first in this race because I'm just that good. But since we're in the same crew, he'll still get credit as if he got first place. Oh man, this turn is so weird. Going on its side. Hey, there he is. Hyper's beating Gwen. You can do it, Hyper. I believe that you can beat Gwen. Stupid Gwen. I do like these like air tunnel things they got on the track that boost you along. It's a nice mechanic. The only thing is, you know, even if you like barely touch it, it feels like it gives you the same amount of boost as if you go in through it perfectly. But that's okay. I don't know about how other people feel about this, but I also like how the AI is pretty easy for most of the disciplines, even on the hardest difficulties. Like, obviously we've been playing these on easy because I haven't unlocked the harder difficulties on these races yet. But even on like hard mode, it can be pretty easy to beat the AI, especially if you know like a shortcut or two, you know? And I kind of like that, you know? Almost like saving the challenge for other players. Some people might like that, some people might not. That's something that I just like. I mean, the difficulty can really differ between disciplines too. So that's the other thing, like some expert difficulties in races will be easy to beat and sometimes they'll be super tough. And it's like, why is there such a big difference? But hey, you know what? It's never really a requirement for game completion, which, you know, I really like. You know, I love the casual nature about this game, just being able to pick it up, play it, and then, you know, do stuff rather than having to like sweat and complete like individual challenges, you know. Something tells me you're not going to finish the race, Hyper. I just realized we're at like 60% and we've been going for like 6 minutes. So this is a 10-minute race, which is kind of long. And I'm 40 seconds ahead of second place. And you ain't in second place, so I don't think you're going to finish. But that's okay. Since I'm in first, your buddy Noodle will get you that epic prize money. But yeah, I don't know why I waited so long to watch like the Ubisoft Forward and the Xbox Showcase. I guess I just wasn't really, I don't know. At first I sort of wanted to wait and stream my reaction to them, but then it was like, this is like days old, so I just sort of went ahead and watched it regardless. But yeah, the other thing I saw that was interesting about the Ubisoft Forward was Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I don't know this for sure, but it really sounds like it's going to be like a classic style Assassin's Creed game, as opposed to like the RPG level-based Assassin's Creeds that have been coming out in recent years, which I don't really care for, to be honest. I don't like games that basically say, hey, this area has level 100 troops, so if you go in there, you'll die in one shot. Guards in this area, however, are level 10, so even if they use the same weapons, you'll be able to beat them easily. But hey, you can't go to that level 100 one until you rank up. Why? Because your number's not as big as that level. It's like weird. It's like an arbitrary level gate rather than actually basing it on skill, you know? Like, I could be really good at the game. I could parry well and stuff, but if I make one single mistake and get like basically one shot, it's not fair. It doesn't seem like a good progression. I don't like having to raise a number in order to move to a different area. That was one of the things I didn't like about the Division 2. However, I was still able to like really enjoy that game because it was, you know, a shooter and it had some really cool abilities. And I did like the story too. That was also pretty cool. It also helps that, you know, I visited DC and, you know, loved seeing Washington DC in like a detailed video game, you know? So there were a bunch of ways for me to sort of counteract the fact that, you know, you could literally walk down the street and find enemies that'll be significantly more powerful than you just because they have a higher number. So I just don't like games that, you know, are like higher number equals good. Like, come on, just let me have the, you know, stuff at the beginning. If you have to like level stuff up, then, you know, have me unlock weapons as a form of progression, or have me unlock abilities as a form of progression. Don't make raising an arbitrary number the whole progression system. It's just weird. Also, I was like literally about to lap you, Piper. You were like right around the corner when I was coming up to the finish. But hey, it's okay. My stock is full. I kind of do wish I hope they improve on that in Motorfest. Like this gear space system. Like, at least let me select multiple gears at the same time. Like, come on. I should just be able to, like, select multiple of these and then mass scrap them. Like, I don't even care what attributes some of these have. It's just, I just got so much stuff. And I think this is even worse because most of the new races are Alpha GP themed. So, I don't know. Hopefully they improve this a bit. Like the actual scrapping of parts. I don't know if they have parts in the Crew Motorfest or not. I haven't seen that much gameplay. I do like the parts system. I just think that, you know, the process of getting rid of stuff and running out of space is just a bit much. And there should be a way for you to purchase parts with credits. Like, that was always sort of weird. Like, it's a car. Why can't I buy parts for it, you know? If it was a super high-end car, you know, even like this car, maybe I could understand it with, but like, A Ford F-150, I can't buy better tires for it, really? Why can't I buy better tires for a Ford F-150, you know? Nice. We got 4 more races, and then we'll have completed all of the new races on easy. We'll have gotten that check mark. Just like how we gotta get those mid-roll ads running so that we can disable pre-roll ads here on Twitch. Honestly, I probably should have run them before I did like all the inventory management, but I mean, it is what it is. Oh man. I got like there's like a deodorant ad in junk. And I don't think Hyper can even like type to me because he's in the game too. So I think he's literally just watching ads right now. Has no idea what I'm saying. And can't even have a chance at responding to it because he's playing the game. Oh, it's a Team Liquid Honda collab. Yes, because I love buying cars from sponsored by my favorite esports team, Team Liquid. I don't even know. Are they like League of Legends or CSGO? I don't even know. Man, those turns are rough. Does it like straighten you out too? It feels like those boosts straighten you out when you go through them. Like they sort of straighten you out and push you in the direction you're moving. I hope the Crew Motorfest has like a race creator. Like imagine having that as like a part for your own custom race. That'd be so sick. Okay, the ad breaks over. We gotta stop talking about Hyper's mom since he can hear us now. Yeah. But hey, speaking of ads, did you guys hear that XQC is streaming on Kick now? Very interesting. And I didn't know this, but apparently Ninja streams on Kick too. Like since Twitch put in its ban for like multi-streaming. Like you literally, no matter who you are on Twitch, you can't multi-stream the Twitch and a different platform at the same time. So what I did back in the day, streaming to YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer, that ain't allowed no more. Twitch, if I'm streaming to Twitch, that's the only place you can stream on. It's a shame. But yeah, XQC reportedly got like a pretty big deal. And it's not exclusive either, so you can still stream on Twitch, which is pretty cool. The main thing about Kick that I've heard is that, you know, it's sort of, well, not sort of, it's like backed and funded by like a gambling website. So, I mean, not really ethical, but I mean, the counter argument I've heard is like, is Amazon really ethical versus, you know, for Twitch versus like gambling websites? And, you know, keep in mind that a lot of people that stream on Kick for gambling used to do it on Twitch, you know? So I don't know. If we like bring morality into like streaming platforms, is any platform really moral? Like even YouTube, like the way YouTube makes money is they track your interests, they track all this information about you, and then they serve you targeted ads. Is tracking you with that much detail really ethical? Is it more ethical than gambling? I don't know. I'm not sure if there's like a definitive answer to that stuff. And I mean, even on Twitch, you know, like there's still perfectly valid ways of gambling on Twitch, like channel points, for example. Yes, it's not real money, but I mean, that's still gambling. That's still getting people hooked on games of chance, you know? Like we've done stuff here where we've bet on whether or not I'll win the round, what team will win in TF2 and stuff. So, I mean, is like the only difference that like Kick made its money with like real gambling, with real money? I don't know. I'm not really sure about the ethics of all that. And I'm not really sure about the ethics of like Twitch either. Oh, well, did it go or oh, it started. Well, Rip Hyper. Are you doing stuff or should I back out real quick? The big thing about oh, you couldn't accept it? I'll back out then. Yeah. Especially since we're like just at the beginning of the race here. I mean, for me, the big thing about Kick is that they don't have ads. Oh, now this page loads. I don't think we could see the picture and description on the side. Can you not do endurance, I wonder? Oh no, you accepted. I was thinking maybe they require a certain car for endurance. I'm not sure. But yeah, apparently, you know, gambling funded, the fact that it's gambling funded aside. What am I using? Like, what car am I using? I forget the name of this car because honestly, it's been so long since I was really into the Crew 2. And even then, I don't know how much I did Alpha GP. But remind me after this race, and I'll look at the name for you. But yeah, if you know, gambling funded aside, Kick sounds like a pretty decent platform. Obviously due to the fact that like it allows you know, gambling streams and has looser copyright guidelines. Those have attracted some not so great streamers, shall we say. But I mean, you're going to have people like that on every platform that sort of push the limits of what's acceptable. And as was I think very well argued online, those people were on Twitch before. People were watching like movies on Twitch. I think at the peak of the whole reaction thing. Now people, reactors on Twitch have sort of settled for like YouTube and TikToks and stuff like that. But like there was a time where like people would watch like full episodes of like TV shows and movies on Twitch. And yeah, some of that stuff's happening on Kick, but I mean, it happened on Twitch before. Same with gambling, like people that are gambling on stream on Kick used to do it on Twitch. So it shouldn't really be a surprise that people are trying to do that, because people tried to do it on Twitch before. And I'll bet if you go on YouTube, there's plenty of people that do it there too. The main thing with YouTube though is I think it has much, due to the fact that it has its whole video, the whole video side, I think it's got a more robust copyright system. So you're not going to see like as many reaction live streams on YouTube because, the system will automatically like flag something if someone's copied a portion of your video. But yeah, I don't really think that those are necessarily Kick's fault. It's more so the fact that they're more lax on rules that is like attracted some of these types of people, for better or for worse. And there is a big benefit to like not being as tough on copyrighted stuff. Like we've all been there, like at least if you've tried streaming like a recent game, like we've all been in there where you'll have like the radio on in GTA or something, or you'll be watching an Xbox presentation and then some copyrighted music will pop up. And even though like it's just like a small part of like the stream or a small part of the video, the entire thing gets claimed. Even if you're like, oh shoot, this is Dr. Dre's new song, I better mute the audio, and then you go mute the audio. Even if you have like 10 seconds of music on, in the process of turning off the audio, it just like claims the entire video, like hours and hours of content just claimed because you have like 10 seconds of a song. Like just ask like YouTubers who deal with this, and Twitch streamers. Like I gotta have the music off when I stream The Crew 2. The Crew 2 has some really awesome music, and same for like Star Wars games. Like I know a lot of streamers had problems when they were streaming Jedi Fallen Order when that first came out, because the final boss has music from the movies. Like when you're fighting the final boss, you hear like actual Star Wars music from the movies. And so it's like it's not really fair for an entire video to be claimed based on like that one part. And I don't think it's fair to like have to silence the music for an entire game. Music that very well influence how a game feels and the style and the feel of a game, just because of like some music or whatever. It doesn't seem fair to me. Like legally, sure, yeah, it's legal. They can copyright claim you and whatever. But that doesn't seem fair to me morally, you know? Hot takes on the GrandNoodleLite stream. Like, if you're just like re-uploading a song, obviously that's not cool. I don't think anyone would really. Ooh, that was weird. I don't think anyone would argue with that. But if it's like part of a larger project, like if it's like music within a game, within a live stream, and there's like multiple layers on like top of it, it's like it doesn't really seem fair. Yeah. And like people, the other thing when it comes to copyright is a lot of people mix what's legal with what's moral. My argument isn't necessarily about legality and, you know, fair use, because fair use is very specific. It's very clear what's decided in like courts to have been fair use and what's not. I'm not arguing about legality. I'm talking about like morally, you know? Like, yeah, I think, like I was saying, obviously re-uploading the song in its entirety, and if it's just a song, it's not cool. However, if it's part of a game, that's part of a live stream, that's a little different. I think that should be, you know, treated a little bit differently from like, you know, someone who's just re-uploaded a song, you know? Because it's part of a bigger piece of content, which is part of another piece of content, you know? And, you know, I've seen like videos on YouTube where it's like GTA 5 radio or whatever, where they'll just like take the audio files from the game and that's it. You listen to the song. Like that, again, I'm fine with, you know? Copyright claim it, you know? Strike it down if you really want to be harsh or whatever. But if you're just doing like if you're just playing the game, like I don't see why they need to be so controlling over it. Because especially like, you know, let's stick with the, you know, the game, GTA 5, you know? There's like a part of the game where like Michael gets drugged by Jimmy and he has this whole experience where he's like falling through the sky and stuff. Like that scene has copyrighted music in the background and it's a big part of the scene, you know? However, if you stream it on Twitch or record a gameplay video of it on YouTube, you gotta have the music on because the song is copyrighted. A song that's part of a video game, that's part of a live stream. That doesn't seem right to me. And honestly, I think if it was allowed, it would draw more attention to like the artist and stuff, you know? Sort of how like video games themselves, you know, promote the games to viewers. Like I'm sure we've all played games where, you know, they weren't really on our radar. Maybe we didn't even know they existed. But then when like our favorite YouTuber plays them, or when our favorite Twitch streamer plays them, well now we realize, hey, this is something I might be interested in. Like I know that's how a lot of people came across like Gary's Mod and Grand Theft Auto, as they it might not have even been on their radar. Maybe they had never even played a Valve game before. Maybe they never played Half-Life 2 or Team Fortress 2 or something. But then they see like, you know, Gary's Mod and they see like, I don't know, Vanoss or Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or whatever. Maybe they see them playing Prop Hunt or something and it's like, wow, that looks like a lot of fun. I'll check that out on Steam, you know? I think the same logic can be applied to music. And I don't know, maybe someday, like, the same thing happens with copyrighted music that happens with, like, games, where, you know, it used to be that a lot of companies would just claim gameplay videos on YouTube. Now I think game studios realize that it's basically free publicity, you know? So maybe songs and music will be like that in the future. But, you know, as for now, you just got to be careful. And I think, you know, a lot of creators are tired of walking on eggshells when it comes to that sort of stuff. And so to circle back to, like, the original conversation, you know, I think that's the appeal, like, a lot of creators have. And I think XQC even mentioned this as, like, a main reason for him wanting to start streaming on Kick. Is because he hated walking on eggshells with regards to, like, you know, music and that sort of stuff. And it's just not as big of a concern on Kick. Now, some people would say that, well, yeah, it's funded by gambling and that sort of stuff, so it's not like they're concerned about morals or whatever. And that sort of like ties into the moral arguments I was talking about earlier, where, you know, we're starting to go in circles now, where now we're talking about morality, and now we're talking about how, you know, is Amazon's money for Twitch really still ethical? Because Amazon makes money off of, you know, Amazon.com, which pushes like small businesses and small websites to the side. Oh, yeah. What car am I using? I am using the Expo R. I think the car that I was talking about earlier, that was a part of the motor pass that I got when I played on Stadia. I think that was just the Expo, or it was the Expo something else. It's basically this car but better, and so I really hope that I get that car in the Crew Motorfest somehow. But yeah, at the time, I don't know if it's still the case with the new cars that were added for this Alpha GP update. But at the time when I got this was like the best car you could get if you don't have the Motor Pass one. Let me see. Let's just see the leaderboard for one of these. Proto Alpha Mark II. I don't recognize that, so maybe the Proto Alpha is the best car now. Yeah, I don't know. What if I choose a different, like an older Alpha GP one? Yeah, this might be it. The Expo R Spear Racing Edition. That might be it. It looks like the Proto. Yeah, it's got to be this. I think it looks like the Proto Alpha Mark II might be a good one, like these days, since this update dropped. So I might have to check that out. But I believe it was the Expo R Spear Racing Edition. That was the Motor Pass one. But at the time, that Grand Prix, Alpha Grand Prix car was the best car you could get. And that might have changed. But this was like the best one you could get that wasn't Motor Pass exclusive. So I don't know. That might have changed. Might be a different car now. Haven't really had the chance to like look into the new meta cars now. Yeah. Did you get it? Nice. Those turns though. Yeah, these ones handle much better than the other Alpha GP cars. It feels much more like you're driving a car than an Alpha GP car. Alpha GP cars tend to feel a lot different than regular cars, but these Expos I feel are much more similar feeling to like how cars drive in normal races. So that's the advantage with these specific cars. And I don't know, maybe the new Proto car is like that too, but it keeps changing your car. I think by default it goes to the car that you have the highest gear level on. So you need to swap out your gear, and there's also a change car selection when you accept the invite and you're in the little pre-race area. There's also a button that pops up on screen saying change car if you don't like the one it selects for you. I think by default it picks the one you have the highest gear score on. But yeah, the other thing I've heard about Kick is that it supposedly has really good low latency. Sort of like Mixer did. I saw like a short clip from XQC, like when he first switched over. And the video's titled XQC Reacts to Stream Delay on Kick or whatever. And it was basically instant. Like he asked his chat to like type 1 for one option and 2 for another option, and it was basically instant. So I don't know, it sounds like it has really good latency on Kick. And the interesting thing I heard about like the dynamics of Kick's business is Kick actually uses Amazon web servers to host their streaming videos. So when you watch a stream on Kick, you're actually watching through Amazon web services. So the exact same services that Twitch uses is what Kick uses. However, since Kick has to pay Amazon to use their services, it might actually be more profitable from Amazon's perspective to have Kick pay for the bandwidth rather than, you know, them paying for the bandwidth themselves with Twitch, if that makes any sense. If what I just said makes sense. Because Kick's going to have to pay Amazon regardless, right? However many people watch streams on Kick, they gotta pay Amazon for using their web services. But if people are watching Twitch, who's gotta pay for the Amazon web services? Amazon. So it's, from Amazon's perspective, it would almost be better if they had like a third party that replaced Twitch and paid for their web services, rather than them having their own web service. Which is weird to think about. It's kind of ironic that it might actually be better for Amazon in the long run if Kick replaced Twitch than if Twitch just stayed on top. That's weird to think about, but when you think that, you know, they've got to pay for their own bandwidth and stuff, and Kick has to pay Amazon, then from Amazon's perspective up top, it's like, yeah, it would be better. Really, It's a really weird dynamic. I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, it's weird when you think about it. Like, all these, like, big... Oh my goodness. I am hitting everything. It's weird when you think about it. Like, YouTube has their own... uses Google's, like, you know, cloud services and stuff, right? Twitch uses Amazon's cloud services and stuff to deliver its video and, you know, whatnot. And then the idea of someone, of like a third party coming in and using their own, and using that company's own services to make a better competitor, and also having them succeed is also better for the parent company. That's weird. But I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. And, you know, one could argue, well, hey, if Kick is using Amazon's web services, can't they be kicked off those services by Amazon at any point? And the answer is maybe. I don't know the contracts about that stuff, but I mean, why would Amazon want to kick them off? They're literally arguably making them more money proportionately than Twitch. If Kick becomes like as big as Twitch and they're on like the same level and stuff, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Kick ends up making Amazon more money than Twitch, which is crazy to think about. I mean, hey, bandwidth is expensive. What time is it? I got 20 minutes before I gotta go. So we'll do this, and then maybe we'll work on some of the Motor Pass challenges. Actually, this is endurance, so this is the world record for this is 10 minutes. Well, we probably won't be able to do all of the challenges, but we could do some of them, assuming this is done in 10 minutes. But yeah, I think I'll give Kick a shot. Sometime this week, or maybe next week, we'll see. I've already got a profile set up on Kick just because, you know, I wanted to, you know, check it out as a viewer and stuff. And since I have all the graphics already made for Twitch, it's not that hard to put them on Kick, so I might try streaming on there during the week. You know, I've tried a bunch of different services in the past. I've tried DLive, I've tried Glimish, I've tried Mixer when that was a thing. And so, even just out of pure curiosity, I'm kind of curious on what it's like to live stream there, so I might try streaming on Kick for a bit. Not necessarily like committing to like switching over, but you know, giving it a shot, you know? See how things go. If I had to guess, I would bet that it would be basically the same result as my experience with Glimish and DLive, which is basically like, maybe I'll get like a couple people joining in, like people who just are already on Kick and like watching on Kick. Maybe I'll get a few people there. Maybe I'll see like a few other streamers pop into the chat and stuff like that. But overall, I don't think it would really make that much of a difference. Like, I don't see myself getting huge on Kick, basically. Some people think that if they're not successful on one platform, well, then it's the platform's fault. Like, they just need to find the right site and then they'll be the next ninja, you know? I don't think like that. I just do this for fun, you know? If I was doing this for the money, I would have been out in like 2016. So, I don't know. I think the fact that I'm a small streamer sort of gives me the flexibility to, you know, try out these different platforms without much risk, you know? If I had like, even like 20 regular viewers, like if I could constantly get like 20 viewers in a stream, that's still a decent risk moving to like, or going to Kick and or YouTube and streaming over there. You know, if the most I can really expect from an average stream is, you know, a couple concurrent viewers, then there's not really nearly as much risk, you know? And hey, you know what? Maybe I try out Kick and it makes me want to go back to YouTube. That could be an outcome. I mean, when you think about it, there's either one of three ways this ends, really. Me trying out Kick ends. It's A, me just going back to Twitch because I don't really know as much of a difference. B, I could go back to YouTube because I realize, hey, if I'm going to be uploading my VODs to YouTube, I might as well just stream on YouTube. Like, there's no difference between this and Kick. This Kick and Twitch. So might as well just stream to YouTube. Or I could just, you know, maybe I really like Kick for some reason, and then I just stream on there. I don't know. Maybe I'll just switch back in like a couple months. Who can say? I don't know. But I think what I'll do is maybe sometime this week I'll give streaming on Kick a shot. And plan on being, you know, at least streaming on Twitch on the weekends. Because again, I can't stream the Kick and Twitch at the same time, so I'm kind of restricted there. But I think, hey, I'll give the Kick a few good streams, and if I really like streaming there, I'll just keep streaming there. If it's not a huge deal, then I'll come back to Twitch or YouTube. It's not really a big deal for me. I mean, that's the benefit of having a small stream. It's like, okay, if Kick doesn't work out, who cares? Just go back to YouTube, right? Go back to Twitch. And honestly, if I was trying to like actually get popular and really try to grow as much as I can, then the answer is to like put content on multiple platforms. You know, I gotta be on those YouTube shorts more. I've gotta be like on TikTok sharing stuff there. That's how people get more viewers these days, is they have stuff on multiple platforms at once and they promote their stream on all those sites. But the thing is, I really hate editing, so I think that's what's held me back, if anything. And honestly, I don't really care. If I did care, I just deal with editing, but I can't be bothered with editing 99% of the time. So yeah, I do want to like try editing on my Mac Mini that I got. I think I mentioned it yesterday. So I want to try editing on that, so maybe I'll try to do something there. I want to figure out an easy way to make like phone-styled content, you know? I want at least to find like a template that helps me scale things into like the correct aspect ratio for like Twitch clips or stream clips or whatever. Putting those into like an easy phone aspect ratio type thing. I think that would really help me get more shorts out. I just hate editing, so I mean, ultimately it comes down to like, do I want to start making plans for like a stream so that I have good footage that I can edit into like a clip or something, you know? That's the other thing like a lot of people do. Like you'll see, especially like big streamers, like you'll see Cypher PK do this all the time. He'll go on stream with like a plan for what he wants to do for that stream and basically use his stream as filming footage for YouTube. So he'll start up his stream with like an idea of a video he wants to make. He'll record all the stuff on stream and then he'll send it to his editors and then they'll put that into a YouTube video. That's all nice and edited. So that's the way like a lot of YouTubers grow their audience, is they do stuff on stream specifically for clips or for videos and stuff, and then they put that content on other platforms to promote their Twitch streams or wherever they're streaming. So I mean, like, that's the best advice out there that I can tell, is make content for multiple platforms, but I just hate editing, so I just sort of stick to streaming and uploading VODs, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I can find like a good template that makes it easy for me to make YouTube shorts and stuff like that. And maybe that'll be, you know, that'll make things, you know, that'll improve my viewer count and stuff. Maybe, for some reason, going to Kick will improve my viewer count, though I doubt it. I doubt just switching platforms on its own would really improve things, especially given my past experience. But who knows? Anything's possible, really. So, anyway, long story short, I'm probably going to try out Kick, doing some streams over there during the week or something. Probably be back on Twitch next weekend. And depending on how things go, we'll go from there. That's sort of my plan. Oh, the other thing I noticed about my Mac was that it has this technology. Like, I think if you've watched Apple's presentation, you've probably seen this. But it has a feature where if you take a picture, you can like hold on a subject in like a image editor, and it'll automatically take it out of the image and separate like the subject of the image from the background. So basically, it sounds like a very easy way for me to get like my face in like a green screen like fashion and make I don't know, make thumbnails more variable. So I've taken some pictures of myself making a shocked face just to test that out, see if it can actually take out the wall behind me and, you know, realize what's me and what's not. So I've got some experimentation I want to do on my Mac with regards to editing and thumbnail making and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. And with all the games coming out, my goodness. I have so many games I need to play. Like, I've got like a good 4 or 5 games that I'm looking forward to, thanks to the Xbox presentation and the Ubisoft Forward. So it's like I gotta cross off some things on my list if I'm going to like ever be ready. Hey, nice jump, Hyper. You're getting up to 3rd place. Didn't finish, but neither did anyone else. 20 motor stars earned. I think I'm doing the weekly challenges. And that's why I'm getting stuff for that. Because I don't think there's any Alpha GP stuff in the daily Motor Pass things. Yeah, so I haven't done any of these, but the weekly stuff is what I've been doing. How much time do I have? About 10 minutes. We can do like a hypercar event. Make sure we don't pick one of the 30-minute ones. Complete Mountain Guard's hypercar? What? Oh, is this more new content? Well, cool. Even more reason to do that. Hypercar, yeah! World record is 3 minutes, so this shouldn't be that bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like the music in this game is amazing. I love the music. Some of the music is I love in this game, and I really identify with this game. But I can't play it on stream because of music and stuff. And copyright. Oh, the other thing is I really hope there's a 60 FPS option in the Crew Motorfest. My understanding is the main reason that there wasn't a 60 FPS option in the Crew 2 until like recently was because the engine is just so old that they had to really like hack their way in there to get a 60 FPS mode working. It's not as simple as like tuning the settings or whatever. Basically, it's like an engine level thing that they had to work with. But hopefully, since they're almost certainly using a new engine for the Crew Motorfest, hopefully that means that 60 FPS is an option. Again, maybe they've already announced something like that, I don't know. But, I mean, it would be kind of lame to, like, go from the 60 FPS update in the Crew 2 down to 30 FPS, I'm not gonna lie. Would it be playable? I mean, that depends on, like, how the cars feel at 30 FPS. You know what? I got the checkpoint, so I'm fine with that. But we'll see. Maybe it's already answered because I think there's been like a closed beta already, so I'll find out in the like actual beta coming up when I actually get to play it if there's 60 FPS or not. Hopefully there is, because racing games are like one of the games that really benefit from 60 FPS modes. It's gonna be cool. I mean, hey, we'll see. Like, I'll have a chance to play it before. Oh my goodness. before, you know, I order the game, and so I should have a good understanding of what it feels like when it comes out. I'm really hoping it's not another Riders Republic situation where like the beta was super cool, but then it just, I don't know, I lost all my excitement for it when it got released. I mean, hey, hopefully since it's like the crew and all my cars are going to be there and stuff, hopefully that's not going to be the case. I think they even they did like a sizzle reel style part of the Ubisoft Forward where they basically said, oh yeah, skating is coming to Riders Republic, and it's like, that's a pretty big deal. I mean, I don't think people really care about Riders Republic anymore. Like, it was one of those games where it was really popular, like when it was first in beta and stuff, and when it first came out, and then like nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's a bit of a shame, because I really did enjoy the beta for it. Yeah, or Hyperscape. Hyperscape, you know, was another thing where like a lot of streamers were playing it when it first was in beta and first came out, and then like nothing. That's the other thing I worry about when it comes to like Ubisoft live service games. But I mean, you know, the Crew 2 has proven to be different, you know? The Crew 2 has been supported, you know, much longer than Hyperscape. Hyperscape, like, started, was developed, and died before, in the time, like, the Crew 2 was just sort of chilling over here, getting updates and stuff. So hopefully that means, like, you know, that we can expect it to go on for a long time. We can hope. Time check. A couple minutes. The Crew 3 with Unreal Engine. I'm pretty sure it's using like the Crew or Ubisoft's Snowdrop engine, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. What am I, a Crew developer? Let's do a rally raid event and then we'll end the stream. You know what? We'll do the They Are Coming event. Get to use my Ford F-150. Yeah, like right here, it lets you switch vehicles if you press the menu button. Yeah. Like, this car is going to be in the Crew Motorsport. So imagine me just going around with this giant UFO in the back. That's going to be cool. I like it. I got my UFO. I don't know if the UFO accessory will be coming as well, because that's like a cosmetic thing. But I would think that, you know, the car itself with the UFO in the back would be. I mean, hey, if they don't give people like an opportunity to purchase this for some reason, then I could very well be one of the few people in the world with this car in the Crew Motorfest. Because it would have meant that A, you played the Crew 2, B, that you paid for the motor pass in the Crew 2, and C, that you're still playing, that you bought the Crew Motorfest and transferred your stuff. All three of those things need to be true in order for you to see this car in game. For you to drive this car, all three of those things need to be true. And the Motor Pass is time limited. Like, you can't get this now. You had to have played it when it was a thing, where it was part of the Motor Pass. So it'll be interesting to see if like all the cosmetic stuff, in addition to all the cars, get, you know, imported. I mean, that would be very sick if they do. Like, that's a big deal. I don't think people are giving them as much credit as they should be getting for that. Like when you play Forza, I'm pretty sure you just start from scratch every game, right? Like, they'll mention that, hey, you're the guy from England or whatever, but I'm pretty sure your cars don't transfer, if I recall. Ooh, this is gonna be a close call for you, Hyper. I'm like 28 seconds ahead, so you could still make it. But it's gonna be a nail biter. Is Hyper gonna make it? It's gonna be close. Ah, nice. I think he did make it. With seconds to spare. We're gonna get probed. Oh, I did even better than my ghost time? Sweet, I didn't even realize that. But hey, imagine that, like... Imagine just being like one of the few people in the world that has this car. Like, I kind of hope that it remains exclusive to the Crew 2 Motor Pass. But, you know, I mean, then other people don't get to have this cool car. Which is kind of lame. I like people being able to enjoy other cars. I got so much parts. This is why I hope they do get rid of. Oh my goodness. Look at all these parts. What am I supposed to do with all this? Oh my goodness. So many legendary parts. I'm just going to clear some of this stuff out and then I'll end the stream. I won't miss this if they get rid of it. Again, there's probably stuff out there. They might have released more details on their website or whatever that I haven't seen, but this I hope they sort of toss to the side. I hope they leave it in the rear view mirror, so to speak. Every Forza game, yo, you new around here, there's 3 cars to choose from to start your racing career. True. But I mean, hey, it's cool that we'll be able to keep all these cars. It means we don't lose anything by buying the new game. That's pretty rare, actually. You would think people, like, you would think developers would want people to start from scratch. Oh, come on. More parts are full. Whatever. I'm going to end it off there by collecting the stuff that I'm able to collect. I'll have to manage my inventory off stream. Forza has a broken economy, yeah. Well, that's the thing too. They let you buy and sell cars too, so it has its own economy. Crew 2, you just have to buy it from the store, or it's more controlled, which has its pros and cons. So hey, I'm excited for the Crew Motorsports. I'll definitely be streaming that. If not the beta, maybe when it comes out. Well, I mean, I don't really want to lock myself in. I mean, if the beta sucks, then I guess I won't stream it. So we'll see, I guess. But hey, if I have fun in the beta, then I'll probably stream it or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it'll be on Kick. Maybe it'll be on YouTube. Who knows? Who knows anything these days? Not me, that's for sure. But yeah, so I'll be trying out some different things over the coming days and weeks. So stay tuned to the Discord and Steam group for those updates. But yeah. More inflated than some country in Europe, yeah. Well, I mean, that's what happens when... That's what you risk when you let people control and buy and sell stuff like that, I guess. Oh well, we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, lots of things up in the air. Stay tuned for a possible stream on Kick. Possibly new YouTube shorts if I end up liking the way how you edit on Mac OS. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff I don't know about that I'll try. I mean, heck, maybe we're just back here next week and nothing's changed. Who knows? But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, join the Steam group and Discord to get notified of when I go live and what platform I go live on. That's important, like this week. So yeah. But that's it for today. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.